Hey there, I thought I'd show you around two of my Jendoris. This is one of the first ones I ever made. I don't do these little beads anymore. All my Jendoris come with little charms, as you can see there. Now this is my bigger one. I made this because I bought, wasn't quite A5, I can't think what size it was, but I bought a little diary and I wanted to put it in something. So it just goes to show you don't need to buy cheap, specific inserts. You can have, so something like this, and then you can put this in. So you just need to put your elastic in there. So it's quite versatile. And you don't have to have all the same thickness. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of things. But I thought I'd just show you around this one and show you around this one. I don't use this one day to day. In fact, the sorry, I tape bits of washi tape. I take this all over the place with me, or I did do, and sometimes to keep children occupied in the gardens, they would go around and pick up stray flowers that were on the floor, and we'd try and complete a rainbow. And this was one of our attempts. There is another one in there somewhere, and because I always have washi tape on me, we stick it down with that. And I was just chuckling because I was thinking, God, they've pressed really well. And I write shopping lists and things like that on the back of them, so they're quite handy. This was, like I said, this was a really early design, so I had a pocket on the side. I didn't like the way that I sewed it in, so I don't do that anymore. I have pockets that go right across the bottom, which you'll see in a minute. This is just a little plain one, but the paper is actually sketch paper. I took it out of an artist pad because I like to be able to draw on the go, so that was quite a handy one. This is my diary, which is completely out of date now. I created lots of little tabs. I've got like a tab punch, and I created all these tabs, but one thing I found with the Jendoris, especially the trifold one, is that they all bent over because of this. So I think next time I'll actually do them so the tabs go up rather than to the side. So this one is my notes and impressions. This was in a previous demonstration I showed you. So I have a few more tags in here that match. This paper is not paper you can currently get anymore, but I just loved it so much and I thought it went really well. So an example of my lists is I've listed all the Disney animated movies, and I've ticked off the ones I've seen and the ones that we've got. I haven't included the Christmas haul yet, so but anyway, there's various different lists in there. Then I've got, this is my brain dump, so I'm not going to dwell on that too long. Again, same range of paper. This is a different range, this one, but it still has the nice turquoise in it. And it's basically somewhere for me to just dump all my random ideas, or my children's drawing, as you can see. Artistic bunch. This one, I actually had a go at heat embossing the patterns on it. So this didn't look like this paper when I got it. I used an embossing pen, which gave this bizarrely beautiful turquoise effect, and I used a clear embossing powder. So on the back you can see, it's not there, a little pink one in the middle there, but I embossed the front. So I was sort of experimenting, but it feels lovely. This is another one of our, there you can see May. They still have their colour. It's just a lovely little reminder, and I've got notes in there from friends and things to remember. This is one that I started actually from an art journal. I'd created these pretty pages in my art journal, so I wanted to make a book out of it. And I started, what I wanted to do is, I'd heard really random things and I wanted to find out more. So watching Sarah and Duck, something that we do frequently, and those parents out there who watch CBeebies will know what I mean. One of the episodes they talked about a moon bow, and I wanted to know if a moon bow was something created by Sarah and Duck, or whether it was actually a thing. And bizarrely enough, it is a thing. So I use 3D paint to, you see, make glossy moon, and sort of, you know, Wikipedia'd it, and that's the information. And then we've got a keep in Dorchester, and I never knew what the point of the thing was, and I wanted to find out a little bit more, so I drew a little picture of the keep, really rough. There's some ideas. Watching Dad's Army, you know, don't do it with the kids particularly, but it's a bit beyond them. But there is one scene where Jones is explaining what show a leg is, and I wondered if that was actually true, so I looked it up, and it's pretty much true. So I've got lots of other pages to add in. I've just not added, but these are all sort of pages that I've coloured with Dilution paints, which are just amazing, so I will do another demo with those another time. I have a habit tracker. As you can see, January was a little bit slim, but I started tracking that we were doing yoga. My partner and I were doing yoga every day, and we continued to do it throughout the whole year. Admittedly, through illness, I have missed a couple, but as you can see, I don't actually keep this one up to date anymore. And then a very wise woman challenged some friends of mine and me to do 10 minutes a day to think about something that had happened. You know, I mean, just write a little bit of a log. So, I mean, I don't want to bore you with it all, but I mean, I did try to write, you know, little bits of information about my day, and I did that for about a month. Now this, I actually bought in the range. I think I bought it in the range. Might be in the works. Can't remember. I loved the little sticky notes. So rather than transferring them, all I did was I stuck the entire book into the back of my folder, and it's brilliant. It's really handy. And then I clip all my pens on the back. So that is the one that I was using all the time. Now, new year, new starts, you know, new eating plan, all the rest of it. I thought, no, I need something that's going to track my health, and it needs to be small that I can shove in my bag. The other one was great, but I've been given a new bag over Christmas that was smaller, and I needed something more compact to put everything in. So I used my mermaid one. This is one of the first Jendoris I've made. And actually, although it's got a charm on, it is slightly different. You know, the design has changed quite a lot since I've started making them. It's got yellow eyelets, because I thought it complemented the mermaid's hair quite nicely. And all the inserts are made by myself and sort of just bunged in over time. I got these really cute little pens. They are Papermate ones, and I do actually have a complete set of them, but like with all pens, I've lost quite a few. So this is a trifold Jendori with pockets. There's 1, 2, 3 pockets. They're quite nice and deep. I did have some reduced price ones that had very narrow pockets. I prefer the deeper ones. I think they're a better idea. Some more beautiful papers. This is from the Creative Company, I think it is. And they are single-sided, but it's just a month to view. As you can see, I've got nothing on in April yet. Or at least I have. If I have, I haven't written it down. And then there's a birthday list. I'll show you one without many birthdays in. Possibly. A surprising number of birthdays. Okay. So I haven't done dates 1 to 30 or 31 or 29 or 28 or whatever. The reason being is because, you know, I don't have birthdays every day of the month. And I thought what I would do is just bung them in whatever order I come to, and I thought it might confuse me. So this is still a work in progress. I may change my mind because there are some... It's hard to know what order to put things in, and I'd like them in numerical order. But there are some days where I have 3 birthdays on the same day, so it wasn't very helpful. Now I have a food tracker. That's where you get to see all the info. I'll put it like that. Look, and you can't see all my embarrassing information. So this is for a month only. Okay, and it's a detailed food plan. So at the beginning of the book, you have the date that you're starting it, your starting weight, your waist, arm, thighs and bust measurements, and then any plans you have for this month. So this could be I'm going on holiday for a week. How am I going to help myself stick to my eating plan? What can I do to help myself? What can I avoid? Things like that. So that as you're going on your adventure, you are aware of possible downfalls and things that can hold you back. And then I basically have the date, thoughts for that day, the food you've had, and how hydrated you are. So I don't always put thoughts in there, but sometimes, you know, if you wake up really low and it's interesting to know at the end of the day whether you stuck to what you plan to do. If you're very low, people quite often just eat a load of crap, you know. You don't, and by the end of the day, you're like, why on earth did that happen? Well, sometimes if you've written down at the beginning of the day, I've woken up really tired and I'm really grumpy, you know, that is an indication of how the day went. I hate writing in food diaries because I forget. I keep with it for about 10 days and then I forget one day and then it's just impossible for me to keep up with it. So, you know, the fact that I've done 5 days is quite impressive. Well, no, actually I've done 4 because I forgot to fill in that, yeah. So that is a month's worth of diary there. I'll show you. Food tracker. Then I have a habit tracker. So this is the same as the one in my big book. It's just much smaller to fit inside this book. You have lots of space up there for all your different things. They are tiny gaps, so you want to make sure that whatever pen you use is very fine. And then you can colour in. You can do my year in pixels or however you want to do it. So you could colour each one in different colours. I mean, I have lots of coloured pens because I like to do different colours for each row. Then I have a body health tracker. This is so that quite often I will have really bizarre aches and pains and I like to just keep track of them. Or if, say, I've been ill, I want to log how long it is that I've been ill for or things like that. So I've got a body map here and then when the ache started and whether or not a doctor was required, just so that if I need to look back, I can always look between that and my food diary and decide, actually, I had way too many carbs that day. That is why my hands are really painful, which is an odd thing that happens sometimes. Then I have a body and weight tracker. And so you've got your dates going along there and then your measurements, dates, measurements. So that's a book full of those. And then at the back, I've got recipes that I enjoy on the eating plan that I'm on. So, I mean, this one I wrote down because I thought, oh yeah, I love that. Oh my God, it was the most vile thing I've ever had. So that's been crossed out. I might rip the whole page out, actually. So that is my my tracker, my personal diary. I also have this blank book that I bung in that has, you know, food information on. I was doing sketching while I took my middle one to ballet the other day. It's pretty handy, so it fits in there, and they're all tied in with elastics. This is just a 2 elastic book, Jendoris. Yeah, I can fit. I've got 1, 2, 3 extra elastics in there. I don't know if you can see 1, 2, and there's 1 in there, 3 extra elastics, and I've managed to fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books in there. Just trying to find. Oh, there you go. Oh, it goes in there. I knew it went in there somewhere. So it's amazing how much you can fit, even in just a 2 elastic traveller's notebook. So that's my Jendoris, number 2. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed, and if you got to the end, well done, that's impressive. Take care, bye.